The saloon reeked of whiskey and desperation. That October night in 1892, Tom Garrison sat at the poker table, his calloused hands gripping cards he barely cared about. He'd come to town for supplies, not gambling, but loneliness had a way of pulling a man into places he didn't belong. Across from him sat Chun Wei, a Chinese railroad worker with desperate eyes and trembling fingers. The man was losing badly, and everyone knew it. When Chun Wei ran out of money, he did something that made Tom's stomach turn. He pointed to a young Chinese girl standing in the corner, no more than 19, her eyes downcast and her silk dress faded from wear. "Her," Chun Wei said in broken English. "She worth something, my niece. She settled my debt." The room fell silent. Tom looked at the girl, then at his cards, then at the faces around him, faces that showed no shock, no outrage, only the casual cruelty of men who'd seen worse. Tom should have walked away. He should have thrown down his cards and left that godforsaken place. But something in the girl's eyes, a flash of terror mixed with resignation, made him stay. He won the hand. Just like that, a human being became his property, at least in the eyes of everyone in that room. Chun Wei stumbled out without looking back, and Tom was left standing with a girl whose name he didn't even know. "What do they call you?" he asked gently as they walked toward his wagon under the stars. She hesitated, as if wondering whether honesty was safe. "Mei Lin," she whispered. Her voice was like a bird's wing, fragile and quick. Tom nodded. "I'm Tom. I have a ranch about 20 miles north. It's not much, but it's honest work and clean living. You'll have your own room and I won't lay a hand on you, that clear?" Mei Lin looked at him like he'd spoken in tongues, unable to comprehend kindness from a stranger. The ranch was exactly as Tom described, modest, weathered, but surrounded by endless Montana sky. That first week, Mei Lin moved through the house like a ghost, cooking and cleaning with mechanical precision, waiting for the other shoe to drop. But Tom kept his word. He worked the land from dawn until dusk, came in for meals, thanked her quietly, and kept a respectful distance. He fixed up the small bedroom off the kitchen, brought her blankets and books, even taught her English words while they sat on the porch in the evenings. Months passed. Winter came hard that year, and Tom fell ill with pneumonia. For 3 days he burned with fever, delirious and weak. Mei Lin could have left. She could have taken his horse, his money, and disappeared into her own freedom. Instead, she stayed. She bathed his forehead with cool claws, forced broth between his cracked lips, and sat vigil through the darkest hours. When Tom finally opened his eyes, clear and conscious, he found her asleep in the chair beside his bed, her hand still holding the damp rag. "Why didn't you leave?" he asked when she woke. Mei Lin looked at him with eyes that had grown stronger over the months. "You gave me dignity when the world gave me none. That is not something I abandon." It was the longest sentence she'd spoken in English, and every word carried the weight of her conviction. Spring brought new life to the ranch, and something else, a shift in the air between them. They worked side by side planting vegetables, mending fences, tending to the animals. Tom found himself watching the way sunlight caught in Mei Lin's dark hair, the sound of her rare laughter when a calf nuzzled her hand. She noticed his gentleness with injured creatures, his quiet strength, the way he never took more than his share. Respect grew into something deeper, warmer, inevitable. One evening, as they sat watching the sunset paint the mountains gold, Tom turned to her. "Mei Lin, I need to say something. I never meant for you to stay out of obligation. You're free. You've always been free. If you want to go to San Francisco or anywhere else, I'll give you money and help you start over." His voice cracked with sincerity. Mei Lin was quiet for a long moment. Then she placed her hand over his, the first time she'd voluntarily touched him. "I am already where I choose to be," she said softly. They married that summer in a small ceremony that scandalized the nearby town but meant everything to them. The same people who'd watched her be gambled away now whispered behind raised hands, but Tom and Mei Lin didn't care. Mei Lin would add, "And I found home with a man who saw a person where others saw property." Their story became legend in those parts, a reminder that humanity can flourish in the most unlikely soil, that kindness can transform fate, and that love, real love, recognizes no boundaries when